Mr. Terrific says it's real.
Mr. Terrific says, I know those computer forensics guys. There's no way. That's Mr. Terrific, smart as Lex Luthor. Then I have Maury, the Secretary of Defense, say, I think whatever you think about Luthor, but it's real. And then the clincher is that Gurkos and Lex are walking together.
Right.
And, Gurkos says, you doctored a message. This is great. And Lex says, it's not a message. It's not doctored. Right. It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay. We just clarified, just for the record. I just want to get it down.
Why?
So James Gunn's DCU has now officially started with both the Superman movie and now Peacemaker Season 2 starting up. And, well, I'm very underwhelmed. Honestly, I've been very excited for this DCU James Gunn Superman because I honestly thought this would be a way to bring DC and superheroes in the DC universe in general back into its heyday of being the most popular. But after watching these movie and TV show, I just honestly have the feeling of this just feels like all James Gunn's work. And listen, originally, I liked a lot of James Gunn stuff. I liked Guardians 1, even liked Guardians 2. Not so much 3, but I like Suicide Squad. My problem here is that, like, all of James Gunn's work is starting to feel like James Gunn's work. It has this, like, non-serious humor that is just riddled inside all of its work. It's constant. It's this like diminishing of the characters in like this cringy I'm gonna shit on them way that I can't sit through anymore. Maybe it's because I've gotten older, I'm getting more tired of this style of humor. But it's the same with Peacemaker, it's the same with Superman, as main characters getting constantly shit on, beaten up, laughed at, and no respect given for these characters. And that's just not what I wanted from DC. And I honestly think this is not a sustainable way to keep superheroes. And in my personal opinion, a guy like James Gunn is better for a Suicide Squad, is better for Authority, because they're not traditional superheroes. These superheroes should feel traditional and not in the way of like, they never lose or never have strife. Obviously, I don't want the exact opposite, but these heroes used to feel like gods in a way. DC is like, for me growing up as a kid, I've always felt like these are characters that you aspire to be. They're so aspirational. It's why I've always preferred, in my personal opinion, DC over Marvel. Because I just always looked up to a Superman or a Batman or a Wonder Woman, or like, just take Justice League Unlimited, for example. It's just like the perfect example of these godly beings that are human, that are good people, that everyone should want to be like. I don't feel that with Superman. I don't feel that with the Suicide Squad. I don't feel that with Creature Commandos. I don't feel that with Peacemaker. Every single one of James Gunn's new projects feel the same, and I'm getting tired of it. I genuinely don't like the direction of this world. And I was just talking about the jokes and the feeling of the world, where everything feels so shitty. I don't know to describe it. It's like not respected. It's an interesting feeling, but I was just talking about that. I'm not even talking about the amount of stuff that is already in this world is just unsustainable. Think about future projects and how we're gonna always be thinking about, well, why didn't they just use that device that they used back then, or why don't they just use this device that they used back then? For example, the pocket dimensions that are already in the DC. You start the DC with pocket dimension. Why do this? And the floating sea of CGI bullshit that we had in Superman, and not to mention now that Peacemaker, we already have universal multiverses already. This is the second thing in the DCU. I'm personally starting to feel like James Gunn was not the right person for this. He is that, like, his sensibilities just don't align with the Superman. They don't align with the Batman. His humor doesn't align with them, and I think he's better off for something like Peacemaker. And honestly, even this season of Peacemaker so far, I haven't laughed a single time. I think the jokes is like, it just feels like edgy humor to be edgy. He's like constantly swearing, constantly doing sex stuff. It's just not for me. And this is coming from someone that likes season one. Like I liked it, but like this is just too much. And the dimensional stuff, I'm already tired with this world, and it's really sad because I do love DC more than Marvel. But like when you look at like an Iron Man and like how simple the beginnings of the Marvel universe were, you just like you're like, damn, like why couldn't we get that? Why couldn't we get a writer that matched more of a Superman? Because when you look at Marvel, Iron Man was the first movie, and it's like it's a guy that was a billionaire that regretted the actions of his military work and is now trying to be a superhero because of that. Or Captain America is just a show soldier that wants to beat up Nazis. Or even Thor, a little god, is a lot less complicated and convoluted than the world that James Gunn has already set up with Creature Commandos, with Superman, with Peacemaker. It's already less convoluted. The Thor Loki storyline. And then all culminating into this great movie where all of these characters clash and their ideologies and how the way they speak, and it just felt all natural, versus a Superman movie where we get all of that in the first movie. We get a Green Lantern, we get a Hawk Girl, we get a Mr. Terrific. It's like, why Metamorpho? We get all these people. Why do we need this in one movie and filled to the brim? It just feels rushed. It honestly feels like DCEU. It feels like Zack Snyder's DC. Genuinely, it feels the exact same, rushed and putting all these pieces together that don't feel like they're going anywhere. I don't think James Gunn has a plan. I think he's just bullshitting his way through it, and he's hiring people that have any experience at all. And I'm completely worried about this already. Say what you will about Zack Snyder's DC, but those characters had aura. Listen, maybe a little too much, okay? But they did. Like, Superman felt like classical Superman, at least aesthetically, not like in demeanor. I don't like the whole brooding, dark Zack Snyder-ism of Man of Steel. But like in aura, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman had that. And here already, Superman just seems like a joke. Peacemaker seems like a joke. The characters surrounding them feel like jokes, except Mr. Terrific. And honestly, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it gets better and we get a little bit deeper depth, a lot less of these cringy jokes, more interesting characters to come with different styles that I hope works. But, you know, we're getting a Supergirl movie that is going to be the exact same James Gunn style of, like, let's make a character that isn't traditional superhero. She's just like a hot mess. And I don't know. And then after that, we're going to get a Clayface movie where it's like not another non-traditional superhero, where it's just like a scary movie. And then after that, we're going to get Lanterns with two more non-traditional superheroes, and they're probably not going to be very super or hero, and they're going to be detectives. And then after that, we're probably getting another James Gunn Superman project, and I'm just not that excited for it. And but hopefully you guys are, and tell me in the comments you think I was wrong about, or you think maybe I should look in a different way about. And well, see you then. Bye guys.